The United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland has just lost more of its sovereignty as Liz Truss's government gives control of our defence to the European Union. Hello everybody, welcome to the first video of the day. It's Monday the 10th of October. We have been warning about this issue since 2018. First they told us it's never going to happen, but actually way before 2018, before we even we voted to leave the European Union. People like Nigel Farage were talking about the concept of defence, EU Defence Union, EU Army and all that nonsense. Nick Clegg and many other Ramonas said, that's never going to happen. That's just a fantasy, you tinfoil hat nutter. Well, we now found out that PESCO, which is a permanent structured cooperation nonsense for the EU Defence Union aspects, have just had their big summit meeting. In Italy, we had Emmanuel Macron and Liz Truss, our Prime Minister, going hand in hand, signing a new PESCO agreement. Now, the situation with this is that this permanent structured cooperation, that will basically mean this is an aspect of the EU Defence Union. We're not really going to have any veto in that sense. We're going to be going ahead with the idea of the EU Defence Union that came up a while ago. Now, this is not Liz Truss's idea necessarily. She's completely betrayed our armed forces, we know that. But this has been being pushed by many in the establishment, and the politicians that we have are just going ahead with it. Theresa May was fine with it. She was going to go ahead with it. Boris Johnson was just too busy to even know what was happening, I guess. Now Liz Truss just became Prime Minister. They put it right on her desk, the document, and she said, oh, okay, I'll do it. Because everything's going to be absolutely normal. Everything's fine. Well, we had, and many others, including former Defence Minister Sir Gerald Howarth, who's actually used to complain about this for such a long time. Nobody listened to him. He said that this is very serious and we must be very careful. The issue around PESCO is that the structures are permanent. We must not sign up to anything which undermines our sovereignty and where we do not have a veto. What was the point of leaving the European Union if you're going to slowly rejoin aspects of the same European Union? Especially some of the most dangerous aspects of this European club. When it comes to defense and our sovereign rights to defend ourselves, nobody has a problem with cooperating with other countries. Nobody has a problem with global alliances. Nobody has a problem with us looking after our neighbors if they're partners and allies. Nobody has a problem with that. What we have a problem with is the fact that you're going to go out there, give the powers to the bureaucrats, and some people will say, oh, you're freaking out, it's not going to happen, it's not going to be like that. Well, it's in the agreement. The idea is that we're not really going to have any veto. The idea is that whilst this is not the EU army itself, it's not the EU army, but the EU Defence Union going hand in hand with the Treaty of Lisbon. This was introduced in that treaty ages ago, in the 2000s. And now, slowly creating the structure, now you're going to have a number of members, 25 members, I believe. Many of them are in NATO already. Some of them are not in NATO. And this is not some sort of actual get-together in an equal partnership between nations. No. You're going to have the bureaucrats in Brussels, the EU civil servants, deciding we're not really going to have a proper say. And whilst things are peaceful and stable in Western Europe, sure, you might not see a problem, but never say never. What if things change? Who's going to be in control? Who's going to be in charge? And who's going to be defending our borders and our country? I mean, if we have any borders left at that point. But we are going to be focusing on this issue a lot over the next few weeks and months on this channel, so make sure to subscribe. We're going to come back every half an hour throughout the whole day. We're going to have a number of updates from what's going on with this GETTR World Cup and how some of the left-wing crybabies are being triggered by GB News as usual. And we're going to give you the latest from the uprising in Iran. Subscribe to the channel. Admire Tousi, and we are the media.